Want to know the secret to a great night's sleep? It's Purple. Why? Because only Purple mattresses have the Gel Flex Grid. It's the reason why Purple mattresses are soft where you want it, firm where you need it, and instantly respond to movement. The Gel Flex Grid flexes around pressure points to support your whole body, no matter how you sleep. Plus, the Gel Flex Grid is 80% air. It breathes, so you're not too hot or too cold. Learn more about Purple mattresses and the Gel Flex Grid at purple.com. Purple, reinventing sleep.
Gift.
This is CBS Eye on the World. I'm John Bassler with my colleague Gregory Copley, the editor and publisher of Defense and Foreign Affairs. He is in the East India Club in London, reporting to me about his conversations at the University of Oxford and also at the dinner celebrating the victory of Gondar 81 years ago, when the British forces liberated Ethiopia that had fallen under the boot of the Italian invaders, as Italy at that time was linked intimately with the Hitlerites in Germany, and that is the tragedy of the Second War. Well, very little has changed profoundly for Ethiopia in the intervening years, except for more tragedy, more abuse, and right now we're dealing with an uncertain situation of the sides battling around the capital, Addis Ababa. At the same time, the U.S. State Department is saying there's famine in the land, famine in Tigray. Gregory, I'm presuming that there are other viewpoints in London or other viewpoints at the University of Oxford about this matter, given the long history of the British Empire in Ethiopia.
What we have to understand is that the Foreign and Commonwealth Office really allows itself to be pressured into taking the State Department line. The Blinken State Department has put massive pressure on the Foreign Office in Britain and on the foreign ministries of Italy and France in particular to toe the American line on the Horn of Africa right now, regardless of any historical truth. We had the Italian defense minister say a year ago that it was time for Italy to apologize formally for the atrocities it committed in the war from 1935 to 1941. And the Italian defense minister was invited to speak at the Victory of Gondar dinner on Monday night, but he didn't, largely because the Foreign Ministry of Italy basically said, well, the Americans don't want us to do that. But what we've found is that the militaries in Europe, and I say Italy as well as Britain and the United States, are absolutely understanding that it makes no strategic sense for the U.S. to help break up Ethiopia and to promote this war in favor of the TPLF. So we had at the dinner, at the Victory of Gondar dinner, we had some really, really senior and influential military up to 4-star level, and they were very supportive of the Victory of Gondar dinner, which was organized by the Ethiopian crown in exile. Basically because this great victory, the first Allied victory of World War II, has never been celebrated for 80 years since it happened. So it was time to record that fact and record the fact that the Italian invasion in 1935 was the start of World War II, and that the Ethiopians fought alone in isolated groups of patriots resisting the Italian invasion. Emperor Haile Selassie went to the League of Nations and he said, look, you've got to stop this, you've got to embargo Italy to stop this, but the League of Nations did nothing. And of course, Emperor Haile Selassie's famous words there, today it is us, tomorrow it will be you. And what we're seeing now is that the United Nations is being particularly manipulated by Secretary Blinken, who's pushed for intervention in Ethiopia, quite against Ethiopian or U.S. interest, and we can say this is leading to a wider war. It will lead to the Egyptians and the new Sudanese military government pushing to gain more ground and seize more territory in Ethiopia, because they've already done a lot of that. And the Ethiopians today are entitled to ask, well, today it's us, but ask yourself, because tomorrow it will be you, the rest of the world. And this is what we're being led into by this blind and senseless conflict supported by the United States. And,
we have less than a minute, Gregory. I just want to say where we are now. So what we're looking at then is much in the balance. They're not, at this point, one side or the other is not dominating the conversation. Is that correct? Militarily. I'm not talking about diplomatically. 30 seconds.
Well, militarily, the government of Ethiopia is at a great disadvantage. The only people who have come to their aid diplomatically have been the Russians and the People's Republic of China, both of whom they don't want as partners.
Right.
But they're being forced to accept Russian aid to stop this war.
Gregory Copley, we will continue. He is in London. When he gets home, we'll continue the observation about the Horn of Africa and the 120 million people of Ethiopia. He's at the East India Club, addressing the University of Oxford and the celebration of the Battle of Gondar. This is CBS Eye on the World. I'm John Batchelor.
You're listening to CBS Eye on the World with John Batchelor.
Rock out to some rock and roll. And when you do, make a sandwich that rocks. Go with 2 slices of your favorite bread piled high with Eckrich deli meats. And then turn it up to 11. Eckrich. You do you.
Introducing Peacock, the new free streaming service from NBC Universal. It's hit movies, current shows, live sports, trending bits, and timeless hits. And that's why you can't not watch. Peacock. Watch for free. Upgrade for more. Stream now at peacocktv.com. Law & Order SVU streaming now.